Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And in today's video, we're doing the Broncos safety room deep dive. Remember, if you enjoy this content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as the support is greatly appreciated. We're growing fast. And comment down below what position group you want me to do next. Now, keep in mind, I do film these in advance because today is currently August 2nd, but this is going to be uploaded on August 4th. So you'll probably see it in a couple days after this. But yeah, speaking of this channel growing so fast, I truly want to thank God because I believe that He's helping me grow this channel so I can spread the message that Jesus is King and that just believe He died for the cross on your sins and you'll go to heaven. It's simple and it will make you so much more happy, fulfilled, give you a purpose in this life, and you'll feel so much free. It is one of the best decisions I've ever done, and I just strongly encourage that you believe in Jesus. And today's daily Bible verse is John 3:16, one of the more famous verses in the Bible. For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. And this one, it speaks to what I talk about. It just believe in Jesus, that He died on the cross for your sins, and you'll have everlasting life and go to heaven and spend eternity with God in Jesus. It's simple. Believe in Him, get to know Him, and you'll have everlasting life. And this John 3:16 spreads my message, what I preach before every video, perfectly. So I pray that you follow this advice, and without further ado, let's get started. So starting for the Broncos depth chart, we have Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, Jamar Johnson, Trey Marshall, Caden Sterns, PJ Locke, and Kendrick Thompson. Those are the current 7 safeties on the roster as of filming this. There could be some more added later, just like there was a cornerback added, but I did corners first, so I don't really have him on that deep dive. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump in to the list. So starting off with Justin Simmons, he will be the free safety this season. He weighs 202 pounds, stands 6'2". He has 5 years of experience coming out of Boston College, and Justin Simmons had a Pro Bowl season, and I think he was snubbed from an All-Pro team. First and second team, he was snubbed. So I think Justin Simmons is out to prove that he is not only the best safety in the league, but also the best player on the Broncos roster. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Vaughn, but I do think Justin Simmons is the best player on our roster right now. I do think Von Miller will still be effective and a very good player, but I think Justin Simmons has taken that leap to be the best player on the roster. Now, if fans of opposing teams, I know you're going to come in here and you're going to be like, Justin Simmons is not the best safety. Well, I think he is. As a Broncos fan, of course I'm going to think that. But here are my top 3 safeties. I know you didn't ask, and this is kind of getting off track, but number 1 is Justin Simmons, number 2 is Minkah Fitzpatrick, and number 3 is Jesse Bates. Those are my top 3 safeties in the league. So, yeah, but I do think Justin Simmons is going to be a very, very solid player and a leader in the secondary to help out all the corners, the other safeties, the pass rush. Just, I think he's going to be able to be very, very effective this season. At number 2, we got Kareem Jackson at strong safety, weighing 183 pounds, standing 5'10". Like I said, or like I'm going to say, sorry, he has 11 years of experience, so he's getting up there in age. He's coming out of Alabama. Yeah, he's getting up there in age, but I do expect him to mentor the young guys on this team. But while he's also mentoring the guys, I expect him to be that traditional thumper Broncos safety that we saw in Steve Atwater, that very physical safety that loves to go up and hit. He loves contact. So I expect him to be a very, very physical presence on the opposing offense this season. And I expect him to prove that he and Justin Simmons are the best safety duo in this league. I truly believe they're the best safety duo in the league. And yeah, I expect them to go out in there and prove it, even though he is getting up there in age. At number 3, I'm going with rookie Jamar Johnson. Now, I just put safety here because I do expect he could play anywhere between free safety and strong safety. I expect him to be more of the free safety when he starts, or no, No, because I think he would. Anyway, I do think he could play both, but Justin Simmons will be the free safety, so I do think he could play strong and free safety, and shoot even corner if he needs to. But yeah, weighing in 197 pounds, saying 6'1", the rookie out of Indiana. Yeah, Jamar Johnson has tremendous upside, and he somehow slipped to the 5th round to us. And obviously, we're going to take him with tremendous upside. I do expect him to be mentored by Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson this season. We're playing a little bit of snaps this season, but I do expect him to fully take over as a starter next season when Kareem Jackson's contract ends, because I love Kareem Jackson. I just don't know if we're going to bring him back because of his age. So I do think that Jamar Johnson could start as soon as next season, but I do expect him to also get some playing time this season. At number 4, the number 4 spot on the depth chart, I do have Trey Marshall, who's 207 pounds, 6 feet tall. He has 3 years out of Florida State, and, he's a solid safety. He can fill in and play safety, either of the safeties if you need him to, but I do expect him to play mostly special teams. You know what you're getting in Trey Marshall. It's a safety who can come in and fill in if he needs to. He can come down and play corner if he needs to, but I don't see the tremendous upside here. Just, a very solid safety who can play if an injury happens or something like that. But I do mostly see him as a special teams player this season. Next up is Caden Sterns, 207 pounds, 6'1". He's the rookie out of Texas, who we also took in the 5th round. After his first season, he struggled at Texas. But I do think Sterns has a great upside. I still think he needs to develop a little bit more. So this season, I expect him, like Jamar Johnson, to sit and learn behind Kareem Jackson and Justin Simmons. While I think Jamar Johnson will get some playing time, I don't know if Caden Sterns will get as much playing time on defense. If he sees the field, I most likely see him once again in the special teams role. But I do expect him to sit and develop these next few seasons. And I think in maybe next year or in 2 years, I could see him starting around that time, just with Justin Simmons being here, obviously Jamar Johnson, and then him still needing to develop a little bit. I do think Caden Sterns needs a little bit more time to develop into the safety that I think he can be. Next, we have PJ Locke, who's a safety, 202 pounds, 5'10". He has 1 year experience out of Texas. PJ Locke is a depth safety. If he makes the team, I do see him as a special teamer, kickoff, kick return, all that stuff. Or I see him head into the practice squad. I see one of those two options. I think if he, like I said, makes the team, special teams. I don't know if he does make the team. If he does, good for him. I see him as a special teamer. And I see him filling in if we get hurt at corner and safety. But mostly I see him as a special teamer or on the practice squad. And then finally, Kendrick Thompson, who we signed very, very recently. Safety, 204 pounds, 6 feet tall. He has 4 years of experience in the NFL, coming out of Colorado. I honestly don't expect Thompson to make the team. I expect him to compete for a spot on the team, but I do see him getting cut. Unfortunately for Tedrick, I do see him getting cut. If he somehow makes the team, once again, he'll be a special teamer, but I don't see him making the team. And if he is cut, I don't see him making the practice squad. Unfortunately, the practice squad is very limited, 10 spots if it's not the extended practice squad like we saw last year. So we can't have too many of one position on the practice squad. So unfortunately, I do see if Tedrick Thompson does get cut, I don't see him making the practice squad. And if he makes the team, then he'll be a special teamer. But to me, I think Kendrick Thompson is brought in to just provide some competition to the bottom end safeties like PJ Locke. So we'll see. That's my thoughts on the safety position. That's the deep dive. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what position group we should cover next. We still have got the defensive line, linebackers, and edge rushers. So I guess I'm gonna probably combine the edge rushers and linebackers together. Actually, no, I'll make two separate videos. We still have edge rushers, linebackers, and the defensive line. So let me know which one you want to see next in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.